Hi everyone, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So this is not a practice game that I played against Shizu from the channel Blackwood. He was playing Sylvan Elf. My list is more or less the same than the previous game. I think I exchanged the Academy Incarnate for the Academy Titan this time. Still trying some different version of the list, but it's more or less the same. The list of my opponent was an old classic, which is the triple tree list. So 2 Tree Father, 1 Tree Father Enchant. Then he has plenty of shooting with the Boltor, BSB, 2 units of Sentinel, 1 unit of Briar Maiden. He brought some combat pieces and small scoring, so as you can see, plenty of stuff that's pretty cheap. 7 Blade Dancer, unit of Forest Eagle that can play Chaff, anti-Chaff. And then some small scoring, 2x8 Dryad, 18 Dryad with a champion, and then 15 Archer and a Chaff piece. We were playing all the targets on Surging Tide. And then spell selection, yeah, nothing crazy to mention. I just picked Full Blast because I didn't expect to need the Ward Save or Rot Within to help me in close combat. Matchup analysis, so it's a Sylvan Elf list with a lot of shooting. That's the main danger for me. The Tree Father are not such a problem because I have very good counter. I mean, I have a Academy Titan, I have the Overlord with Onyx Core and also Lugas, so plenty of flaming attack in this list, which is not the dream matchup for him. And then he has some support unit, but are not so strong to beat my big blocks. Secondary wise, I felt I have more scoring unit than him, and I have stronger scoring unit. 3 big and 2 support scoring, where he has rather smaller scoring unit. So I felt that should be something that plays to my advantage. My close combat block are not really threatened in this game, to be honest, because I can play on steadfast and I have still some good strength attack. As long as I have counter charge set up, I should be fine. Poison shooting, obviously a problem for the Academy Titan, but I know that there is 2 plans in this game for me. Either I have some good opportunities with the Titan and then I can commit him, and I don't expect him to live all game long. So basically I expect him to be Wrecking Ball, take a lot of points and then die at some point. Or I don't have a good purpose for him at the beginning of the battle, then I can hide him early on and activate him later in the game. So that's the 2 options that I see. My estimation of the matchup is obviously a positive. Deployment. So since we are playing Surging Tides and all the targets, Shizu Wanderer for side and was able to place it here near the house. Pretty interesting on this map, which leaves him with a bigger zone of 6 inch to put scoring, and I have a small zone where I measure it. I can only fit a column of 1 vassal and then the unit of anointed, but not more than 2 scoring on this left. I will drop my old target 24 inch away near the wall. I felt I'm going to start the game, so it's going to be quite interesting to take a position behind the wall at some point, get hard cover, distracting. Should be quite interesting. So after that I elected obviously to drop for first turn. I felt his idea here was basically with the map, if he has mobile enough unit, he could potentially make some charge undoable early on, so some impossible charges. So basically to deny him that, I dropped single model that are very mobile on my left flank and can go fast forward and deny him his this ID. So I put the Academy Titan here and the Overlord. What I also like about the deployment of these 2 pieces on the left is the fact that they can hide behind the house if needed. Then the 2 scoring I mentioned before, blunderbuss here, some flaming attack on the right and on the left of the 2 blunderbuss block makes sense because I don't know where he's going to drop his Tree Father, and then here the Bastion and the Fast Cav. His counter deployment, so he plays on the left the 2 small units of Dryad to try to go for this one, then Eagles and Blade Dancer, the big block of Dryad, Sentinel, Briar Maiden with the BSB, Enchant, Tree Father, Archer, and here we have the 5 Alien River. So as you can see, there is like here a sort of a zone where it's going to try to attack my blocks. We can identify it straight away. All single model are here trying to take position in the forest and then go out and go into favorable combat against my blocks, while I'm trying to get quickly control of the left flank and also forming a strong middle where I can get quickly control of the secondary objective. Basically that's my main goal, to win it as soon as possible, and after that try to move back with my single models towards the middle of the map. So let's move on, my turn 1. Yeah, I'm going to move as fast as possible forward to deny him the left flank possibilities. So basically moving the Cadim Titan in a way that he cannot escape my line of sight here, no matter what. So if he wants to try something here on the left, and he has 2 scoring, I have 2 scoring as well, so it might be not so worth it to sacrifice a lot of point, because that's what he would need to do to be able to move here on the left. He would need to feed the Cadim Titan something, and I mean, best case, he would just draw the secondary in the middle, but is he really in a position to win this one? I'm not sure. So it's not going to be worth it for him, most likely. I place the Overlord here, and then I prepare what I told you, so Anointed plus Vassal Levies here on the left flank. In the middle, I make kind of a diagonal with the Lugars and the 2 Blunderbuss unit moving forward and the Fast Cav behind. Magic Phase, get a Pentagram and Blaze on the Sentinel, kill 4 of them. Then I get Mark for Doom, he make a Ward save on Tree Father, and I will kill another Sentinel with a Blaze. Hasten 1, so he realized what I told you before, basically cannot escape. Not worth it to sacrifice another unit, so if just feed me with a chaff piece of Dryad to just, it's fearless. I'm going to charge in the forest, suffer some wounds, and this gives him time to shoot me, basically. This allows him also to push towards the forest with multiple units. In the magic phase, he heal 4 sentinels, I dispel, break the spirit on the Titan, obviously, and shooting is going to do only 1 wound to the Titan, which is not much. On average, you will show the chart. I think I put the chart later on. It's like more 2 or 3 wounds, so I expected a bit more from that. My turn 2, I charge with the Titan, get 1 wound from DT, fly with the Overlord over the house to basically completely block the Dryad. So I really like the positioning for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm pretty sure to hit the Dryad. They cannot escape line of sight no matter what on each side. They cannot go into 6 inches due to the positioning of the bull of the secondary, which meant I'm going to win this one as well. So this should secure me overall a 1-0 on the secondary objective. And third reason is basically by moving forward with the Overlord here, I can put back, I can secure the left flank and therefore activate the Torque Anointed to look towards the middle and have something to play for. So yeah, here in combat, here I stay pretty static, I'm close enough to the secondary and still a big distance for him to break, so it's not going to be so easy for him. Magic Phase. I failed Breast Weapon on 2 dice, then Mark for Doom gets Dispel, and I Gravecall Tree Father, do 1 wound. Close combat, I kill 6 Dryad, so I put an attribute to try to kill them all, but I failed that. So I kill 6, there is 1 remaining. I was going to flee, I'm going to restrain on 9 rollable, and looks toward the middle of the map. His turn 2, like I said here on the left, he suffers some DTs from marching, but he cannot really go out. So what he tries to do is to make me charge and then maybe fail restrain and need to pursue him. So that's a nice try. He surprised me a lot. He elected the charge with the Dryad block onto the Titan. I felt I have too many wounds. So, and I have counter charge set up from both the Anointed here and the block of Infernal Warrior Blunderbuss in the flank. So I felt, okay, this looks to me more like giving away the Dryad rather than really establishing something. And mainly, it goes also against the tempo of the game. What I mean by that, you see, turn 1, he feeds me Dryad, and with the Dryad, he was able to get shooting phase. And now he stick me in combat, so I don't suffer any poison shot this turn. So I'm quite happy to be actually in close combat against a strength 4 unit. Just need to use Binding Scroll, so that was one of his goals. He told me afterwards that it was to take out my Binding Scroll on Stone Skin, which makes sense. But nevertheless, I'm still quite happy to get the Titan in combat and to get more points. I ate 1 scoring unit, going to eat another one, so yeah, not bad. He activates Chaff and he pushes with all 3 fathers. So basically this play also allows him to push toward the south part of the map. Magic Phase, I Binding Scroll Stone Skin, then I Dispel Break the Spirit. He tried to cast that on this unit that could countercharge in the flank. He put 4 dice, I used my 6 dice, and then he healed the wound on the Tree Father here. He got also -2 aim on the Bastion, which I didn't care too much, to be honest. It's not a key phase here. I get what he wanted to do to protect the Tree Father and also the cavalry, so why not? But that's fine for me. And he tried to get the Bolter shot on 3+3+, then I have a 5-up ward save on my Overlord, but did nothing. He killed a couple of Lugars, I think a total of 2 or 3 with the poison shot, so nothing crazy. And then close combat, yeah, we didn't do that much, but I won by a bit and he stuck. And I think, I think he killed a total, of 5 Lugars. And that's it, yeah. That's the statistic for the both whisk card, I think quite interesting. So 3 up, 5 up, and then it's either 0 or 2 wounds. So like you see, it's less than two-thirds. So basically he needs to shoot at least 3 turns in a row to do me 2 wounds. So over the remaining turns of the game, I shouldn't be dying that quickly. So I felt still okay for me to take that, and even if I suffer 2 wounds, I can still go back, like I mentioned before. So I felt that's an acceptable risk. Let's move on. That's the Dryad. I also wanted to show you that. The Dryad stat against the Titan, and basically doesn't do much. In this case, he did 1 wound to me, which is fine. But like you see, I mean, it's not going to do much, and most likely I'm going to hit him the second turn. I have counter charge set up. So I felt he really wanted to open the game, and it's a way for him to chaff and then push, but still giving a bit the Dryad for free here. My turn 3, so I counter charge with Toric Anointed into the combat. He reformed in a way that put everybody in the front, so I didn't want to put those guys into this combat and then get charged. I activate my chaff to chaff this Tree Father, which block also the enchant, so only 1 Tree Father is free to charge. And then I reform all my shooting to shoot at the fast cav, move back with the Lugars, keep those guys on the left. I charge with the Overlord onto the Dryad. This Dryad is still fleeing, will rally potentially on the 4, no reroll, so should be fine. I should get rid of all the scoring this turn, and then my Overlord will be able to move toward the center of the map. In the magic phase, again, failing breast weapon on 2 dice, roll a double 1, so not too bad. Gravecoil, 4 dice against 5, get Dispel. Really wanted to get that, strength 6, Gravecoil on the Tree Father, but got Dispel. Pentagram kills only 1 of the cavalry. Disappointing. And what else? I fail Hereditary, and then with shooting I compensate my lack of luck with the magic, so to say, and I shot down the cavalry with the blunderbuss shot, so that was quite nice. Close combat, I'm going to here leave 1 alive. I think he flee, I restrain on 10, so that's fine. And here in the middle I kill a good amount, his auto break, and then I need to think that down. I didn't like too much the fact of staying here. Wanted to reform the Titan and move those guys forward, have a chance of taking the points, not allow him to rally, and then create a bad situation for him. So I just overrun with the Toric Anointed that catch the Dryad. So that was fine. He charged me in the flank with the Tree Father, and I think the combat is not as interesting as it looks, because he has only 5 attack on a 4+, 3+. So I mean, it can fluff, it's not that many dice. And keep in mind, I have 10 attack on a 4+, 3+, AP4. So, I mean, 10 attack, strength 7. Can do some wounds, and if I stick and it doesn't kill me with shooting, the Titan could potentially counter-charge here. So, I felt a bit of a risk here by putting those guys behind, because the Titan could have a medium overrun onto the BSB bunker. So, I felt that was too much of a risk. I moved forward with those guys to shoot, prepare those guys. Yeah, I offered them like a minimize flank charge, so he didn't want to take that, so he just moved sides a bit to the side. Push south with the Tree Father and charge me with the Eagle, and the Ancient didn't move that much, he moved the Archer forward. In the magic phase, yeah, he's not going to rally the Dryad, that's going to die, so I officially got rid of the Dryad, so secondary is in my pocket. Was already from turn 2, more or less we could say. In the magic phase, he will get -2 to hit on the Bastion. Again, not that important for me at the moment. I can allow that. Then he's going to get... what else? That's it. I think the rest I dispel. A Sentinel shoot at the Titan. Again, don't do much. Here's the statistic for the Sentinel. So that's the 15 shot onto the Titan. Like you see, on average, between 1 and 2 wounds. This time, no wounds. The turn at the beginning he did 1 wound, so rather the low band, so not that good. 0, 1 wound is not that much. He can expect much more from that, and basically in 3 turns of shooting he should kill the Titan. Close combat is going to be interesting. So he strike with the Tree Father, here you have the stat. So as I told you, I mean, yeah, it's between 1 and 2 wounds on average. only 20% chance of killing a whole model. If he doesn't kill one, it's 10 attack strength 7 back, so quite interesting. He's going to roll quite good and do 3 wounds to me, so he kills the model. Obviously this reduced my stat from that to that. Not so interesting. I'm going, I think, to do 2 wounds back. Like you see here, it's slightly better. If I get the 10 attack, it gets slightly better, so could have done maybe 1 wound more. Doesn't change that much, except that it makes the break test much more difficult. I have a 6 rollable check, which I'm not going to pass. He's going to pursue me. I flee on Swift Ride. He's not, so still have a chance to flee, but he's going to catch me and roll high. My turn 4, I countercharge with the Overlord onto the flank of the Tree Father. Felt good about that. I think the Titan has no charge. I think I couldn't see those Briar Maiden. I think I couldn't see them. So I just move forward. Here I countercharge. Yeah, he killed the Chaff, overrun on a 9 into the Bastion. I countercharge with the Blunderbuss. And basically I'm going to establish a zone with the 3 bricks. That's going to be really hard to attack for 2 Tree Father. This one should be dead. This one is still alive and causing trouble, and I have a grasp on the secondary, so feeling really good. Magic Face, get a couple of Sentinel dead with a Pentagram, get a big Hereditary on the Tree Father in close combat to make me hit, me on a 5-up for the crush attack especially. Don't want to take any risk. Close combat, I'm only going to do 2 wounds to the Tree Father. He's going to stick, but I think that's even worse for him because I'm stuck in combat, he cannot shoot me. And then next turn I get a free pivot, I can charge those guys that are really close. I made, obviously with the reform, the charge impossible here. Very complicated. Here I kill all, I think I kill all of them and just reform. And that's the stat of the Overlord, just out of curiosity against the Tree Father. So high likelihood of killing him, but as you can see, plenty of different outcome possible, even 0 wounds. So can do a lot, can do nothing also. And yeah, that's the picture at the end of my turn 4, and we decided to stop the game here because basically there is nothing that he can really do. As you can see, all my blocks cover themselves here, so no way he can engage any block because I'm going to be steadfast. He has no chaff, I can countercharge and clean him. So he needs to move away with the Tree Father, away with all the shooting. Most likely this time the tree is dead. I'm going to get the free pivot, eat those guys, and is going to keep these points and most likely kill the Titan on the 3 remaining shooting phase. So we elected to stop here. Most likely the score going to be 15-5 because I think it's going to take my Titan and I'm going to kill the Blade and I get secondary. So I think that's the most likely outcome. Wasn't worth it to spend another hour on the game just to see the exact score since it's a training game. Post-game analysis, so really happy to get those targets close. Deployment, I found good solution to the house problematic. That was a nice try by my opponent, but I had so much mobility on the left that I was able to counter any of his attempt to make the charge impossible and basically abuse from the train here. Quickly establishing secondary win. I think if you see the picture turn 2, I'm already in control of it and there is basically no way that he's going to be winning it after that. So I made that sure, that was my first priority, win the secondary and then take what I can. And I think I did that, I followed the game plan pretty well. Shooting, I have to say that also, I think it's also quite important because if he wants to have any chance in the matchup that is already not so good for him, he needs a bit of luck in shooting, and basically shooting underperformed. Especially poison shooting, didn't do more than 1 wound on Titan per turn, which is disappointing. And then the Bolt Thrower had 2 clean shots on the Overlord. Not so scandal that he makes nothing with that. Like I said, on average he needs to shoot at least 3 times to make 2 wounds, so nothing crazy here. It's more the poison shooting, trying to get rid of the Titan sooner could have potentially allowed him to get more chance in the game. Turn 2 Infernal Dwarves, yeah, I thought about that. I could have redeployed the Overlord, but I felt let's clean the left flank. I was confident enough that my Lugar supporting the 2 Blunderbuss were enough to get rid of the 2 remaining Tree Father if he wants to push. So I felt okay with that after him also going with the Dryad onto the Titan. That helped my decision making on the left. Turn 2 Sylvan Elf, yeah, like I said, I think this charge is a rather mistake for Sylvan Elf. Nothing here to gain for him. Dealing with the fast cav on turn 3 was quite important, not allowing him to chaff me multiple times. And I think the Tree Father charge into the Anointed, it's not that the charge was risky because if you have a look at the solution on his turn 3, you have no other solution than taking this charge. So no problem with that. It's much more with the overrun behind and the fact that I had the counter charge of the Titan. I'm not sure that was the best way to solve the problem. I think if it was possible due to movement, it would have been better to put the Tree Father in front of the Anointed, was a solution. Or at least not give me any overrun with the Titan. And turn 4 Infernal Dwarves, yeah, I think the fact that I fluffed my attack was rather bad news for my opponent than myself, because I was protected in close combat and I could be free before my turn and then do what I want. And overall, I felt that what made also my life easier, or the life of my opponent harder, and harder for him to get any good combat, is basically the fact that all the time I had units covering themselves. You see the Titan exposed, we have Anointed and Blunderbuss covering. You see at the end also the picture, all the units covering themselves, so at no point I was without any solution, and all the time that he had an acceptable combat, I had something in mind to countercharge and clean. Also the Overlord supported the Titan at some point, so all this kind of stuff to get a synergy between my unit and make really hard for him to basically isolate some of my unit and get into combat that I cannot be winning on the long time. I kept in mind that on the long hand for me the key will be the counter charges and bringing more combat power on a small zone where he's going to be a tree alone. At some point he's going to die. So that was the idea, and I felt it worked pretty well. Guys, that's all for this battle report. I hope you liked this training game, and I will talk to you soon for another battle report. Bye.